Hey guys, today we're gonna meet Mr. Roy sir. He's one of my inspirations, and he has lots of experience in training and development. And here we go. Roy sir, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. To speak about my experience, the first thing that comes to my mind is Michael Jordan's quote: I have failed over and over and over again, and that is why I succeed. Well, if you're going to ask me about my experience, I have failed, and I have failed several times. Um, Having switched careers, I started my career as a medical rep, worked for a couple of years, and then wanting to start a business, I came over to Chennai and started a business, which was running well and smoothly for about 7-8 years, and there was a setback and we failed. That was the time that I was thinking if I have to actually continue living in this world at all. Finally, there was an intervention, I would say a God experience, which brought me back and said that I've got to do something. Then I tried taking up a medical transcription, moved on to become the analyst there. It was a mundane job for me quite a few years. And that is when a friend of mine invited me to do motivation training for one of his batches. It was just an hour's program. I went and did it. The participants liked it a lot. And then it became a half-a-day program and one-day program. And here I am as a trainer. And I've been training for the past about 12 years now, training students. I've trained faculty, I've trained teachers, I've trained school students. And the best that I enjoy doing is college training, mainly because I can see the transformation happening there and then. It's an amazing experience when you see lives change because of your intervention, and I hope I'll be able to continue this. There are many factors which are there with regard to my communication not improving even after practicing. Now, what are the ways that I'm practicing? The best way is to improve my pronunciation first, which will give me a whole lot of confidence, because most often what a person who is learning other language, who's speaking now English, would find as a hindrance is his pronunciation. The second one is, am I thinking in English? You know, can I start thinking in English? What do I do, or rather, how do I do this? Even as I'm traveling, maybe in a bus or when I'm alone, I have to look around and see if I can start thinking in English. For example, why is this tree moving? Why are the leaves falling down? What is happening in this garden? Why are there no birds around here? Why is it so sultry here? You know, these are the things which I have to run in my mind. Generally, what happens is a person who is not a native speaker begins to think in his mother tongue, and 90% of the time we think in our mother tongue, which by itself is a hindrance. I can be speaking to friends. How many minutes or hours can I speak to friends in English? The practice that we do is generally maybe about 10-15 minutes I would take, or a person who is serious enough to wanting to learn English, or rather speak in English or improve his communication, he would look at speaking for about half an hour or 45 minutes and give up. But if I start thinking, then it's a whole lot of, it makes a whole lot of difference, because if I start thinking, then I'm almost thinking for about 10 hours to 9 hours. This way, I can improve my English communication skills. What are the expectations of an organization from a person who is just completing his degree, be it an engineering or an arts and science? The primary thing is his attitude. What is the person's attitude? especially towards learning. Basically, because there are three things that are required. One is the skill, the other is the knowledge, and the third one is the attitude. Now, to what proportion does a person need attitude? It is said that 90% plus is with regard to attitude. Why is it so? Mainly because I can evaluate a person's knowledge with the certificate that he has and the marks that he has scored in his exams. And does a person have skill enough? I doubt. Mainly because also because we don't have the practical aspect in our own system. But this can be given in a corporate setup where the training happens, where a person is where the person is absorbed and he is given this training for 6 months, and during which time he has to own the skills. Now, if he doesn't have the right attitude to learn what is being taught for him in the corporate, then it becomes a big problem. If a person's mentality, if a person's attitude is right, he has the attitude of wanting to learn, that is when he'll be able to excel, that is when he'll be able to give his best through that organization. So, what is the attitude that you have? And that is what will determine your entry into any corporate. What are people wanting to have in their lives? Success is one thing. What do I do to succeed? I have to move out of my comfort zone. And what happens when I move out of my comfort zone? The first thing that happens is I fall. Am I willing to fall? Am I willing to fail? When I fail and convert that failure into my experience, that is when success will be the next step that I achieve. God bless you.